guys and gals, Froggy here. What I've got to show you today is a toilet flapper valve or flush valve repair. This is my toilet and it's running all the time. It's leaking water all the time. And in Southern California, you don't want to be leaking water all the time because it's very expensive water. And I want to show you, you see it's got a plastic chain, and the chain gets stuck underneath the lip. I think you can see it there. It's stuck underneath the lip of the red valve, the flapper valve. So what I've got is, first I'm going to show you how you have to jiggle the handle. There, I jiggled the handle. Now you see the chain is floating. It's plastic chain floating, and the water level will fill up now, and it'll shut off. I'll show you that in a second. So what I got to replace that is this. It's a flapper valve with a float on it. And actually, it's designed with the float so that you can vary the amount of water that happens with each flush. If you look at this little diagram here, this says minus if you put the float up at the top of the chain for less flush. This says plus if you put the float at the bottom of the chain. That's more flush. That's fine. I don't mind using the water for a flush, but I don't want it leaking for the rest of the day or all night long. So the reason I got it is because I think this float is going to keep the chain from getting trapped underneath the flapper valve. So we'll see. There you can see now it's filled up and the chain is still floating. Yeah, it's floating up there the way it's supposed to, and it's shut off. But about every other flush it gets trapped underneath there, and then it'll keep running. So I'm going to show you how to change this. You can shut the water off. I can probably do this so fast I don't even need to shut the water off, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to get this ready. Now this is a plastic tube, so I need to cut this little bottom piece. See that little bottom piece where I'm flashing my light? I need to cut that off there. If it was a brass tube, then I'd leave that on there. So let me open up this package. There, now I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut it right there and there to get the little ring out of the way, and then it'll just sit down over the little white plastic ears on either side of the tube. Actually, because this stuff is so flexible, the knife wasn't working very well, so I'm going to take some scissors and just cut the rubber. Let's see if I can show you this. Yeah, they say to cut it like that. So I'm just going to cut. Sorry, need 3 hands. There. Cut it there. I'll have to take it off frame for a second. Okay, now you can see I just cut it there. There's a little mark, a little cut line, so you just cut it there and there. This is going to go on the tube. Now I think what they do is, because you've got this float that's going to pull up, it's going to put some upward pressure on there. I think they changed the weight of this thing, or the floatability of this flapper part, compared to the one down there, which does not have a float attached to it. The chain is going to attach to the arm. You can see here's the end of the arm where I'm waving the light. That's where the chain is going to attach. And you don't need a lot of excess slack. You have to kind of adjust the length of the chain so that when you push up about there, that's the length you want on the chain. Okay, so now I'm going to go and take this old one out and put the new one in. Here's the old one. I took it out. Water's running now, but I'm going to put the new one in pretty quick. Okay, let me show you what I got. I shortened up the chain so that I get a full opening valve when I push the handle, and I put the float down all the way down, pushed it down the chain to the top of the flapper valve. So this is how it works. Now, it looks like I have clearance where the chain used to get caught underneath the flapper valve. Now I've got about almost an inch clearance where the chain hangs down there, so I don't think it can get caught there underneath there anymore, because as you can see, that round yellow float holds the chain out away from the flapper valve. Here we go. Alright, we got a full open, and it closes. Got a pretty good flush. If you wanted it to flush a little bit more, you could hold the handle, I suppose. Chain is not caught underneath, so the valve is fully closed, and this is going to work. So anyway, if you have this style of a flapper valve and you got the chain getting caught underneath there, I would suggest you go with this one. It's corky, and it's got an adjustable float, but I'm not using the float to limit the water. I'm just using the float to clear that chain away from the valve. Yeah, it's shut off now. Let me try it one more time. Nice big flush. Valve is closing. Alright. So if you needed a really big flush for, number 2, then hold the handle for a couple of seconds, and that'll get all the water, like 80-90% of the water. And then the rest of the day, you just hit it one hit, and you'll get less of a flush. So you're saving water. Your valve is not getting stuck open on the chain, and we don't have to spend so much every month on the water bill. So that's how I fix the toilet. If this is useful to you, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more from Froggy, subscribe to my channel. Froggy out. Have a great day. Happy flushing.